the PvP scene used to be so popular in RuneScape, but these days, even old school is struggling to keep that community alive. Do you think it's just a state of games right now, or is it something RuneScape should be doing differently? Can PvP be saved? That's a really good question. I would say that the reason why PvP has a really hard time in RuneScape, like regular RuneScape, is mostly because that it's not balanced. It's not really balanced, and there's nothing in the game that kind of pushes you to try PvP. There's no real mini games that have benefits for you. It's not well balanced around the equipment that you have. There's no equalizer for everybody being on the same playing field. So that if a level 3 comes in the PvP, but they want to train their stats while doing PvP, there's nothing for them to do it besides the thrill of doing PvP. And then for higher level players, it comes down to this weird meta of how do you, like, what would end up working. I think that PvP in RuneScape it has a really good shell. Like, the defensives is a good case because it makes you think about it. They're strong as shit. Your offensive abilities are really cool. You can time these things, but it struggles in telegraphing. So it's really hard to tell what your enemy player that you're fighting with is going to do. They all look the same and very similar. And then defensives are really cool if you know how to use them, because you can have really long fights if people know how to abuse those. Because then it comes down to I would say it comes down to timing your like when you do an attack and when you do other things like that. It really, really, really depends. It varies greatly. And then for old school, I think for old school what it is just bots. I think there's bots that are ruining a lot of the stuff for that, because there's so many bots in the wilderness. And then additionally to that, I think that PvP nowadays in like online games, when it comes to this, is that PvP is really, really based on the value of what you get from it, as well as like, can you get better? Because PvP, to its core, is a competition. You are literally trying to beat your opponent. That is the only objective, is to beat your opponent, and that can be either through a multiple of avenues. That can be by escaping. That can be by killing them outright. That can be by trapping them somewhere. That can be by just doing some, or getting whatever the objective is of that. For PvP in old school, I don't really know that much about it, but from what I've seen about it, is that there is too big of a skill ceiling. Like, you don't really run into anybody that's mid anymore in PvP. When you run into people that are doing PvP actively in old school, that bar is so high that it's saturated with the same fucks that do it every single day. It's the same thing as like if you're doing Call of Duty, right? And all you're getting into are the unemployed lobbies, as everybody calls them, because now you're going against people that are just fully like aware, know how to do every little thing, and so it just comes down to being unbalanced and doesn't feel fun, right? So then it just ends up, you just get your fucking pee-pee slapped the entire game, and it's like complete dog shit. Versus when you have someone that is your same skill level, and you can have two blind dudes fighting in the dark arguing about how fucking bright it is. It's much better to have someone on the same skill level as you and being able to work with that. That's why, in my opinion, League of Legends does a good job of PvP, because it does match you sometimes against people that are in your skill bracket based on your rank, and it has a second layer of things with the, I don't know what the acronym is for MMR, but I don't like what it stands for, but the MMR, how it actually rates how you do in your games, how that feeds in the matchmaking. So it's a really difficult thing. And balancing PvP is hard too, because it's hard to get the sweet spot of what should be strong right now, what should be weak right now, right? So there's a wide range of variables that impacts that, but I think in MMOs specifically is that people don't have a strong enough reason to do PvP. I liked PvP in Guild Wars 2 because, one, the combat in there is very, very good. It's fun, it's reactive, good telegraphs, there are clear objectives to go for, and it's satisfying when you kill your opponent, because it lasts about maybe 20, 30 seconds for a fight, and in that time, you have enough time to figure out all this shit. There's a lot of things. But when it comes to League of Legends, it's the same exact thing, and with more variables. You're matching where your jungler is, you're matching where your laner's doing, you're watching cooldown timers, you're watching wave state, you're looking for objective timers, you're looking for what your bot lane is doing, you're looking what your top lane is doing, what your mid lane is doing, where your jungler is, where their jungler is. There's a lot of variables to it that compound into your rank and where you end up going. So for me, that's appealing, because you can objectively see where you are getting better, but there's too many things that require a lot of balance. There's a lot of shit like that. So it varies greatly in where those things end up going. But I think for PvP and RuneScape, dude, all they gotta do is introduce an incentive. I think you can have a great equalizer, make everybody, if you go into a PvP-based game mode, same set of equipment, or you pick a loadout, everybody's at the same stats, everybody's got the same damage cap, yada, 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 maybe some variables that make it higher, make it lower, depending on what you're doing, and then on top of that, you need to like 10 times the XP you get from killing people, because if you can make that either a PvP method, where you can get a lot of skilling XP from it, or you can end up getting cool uniques for it, cool titles, cosmetics, something that pulls people in and is incentivized for it. I think it should be a lot more. I think if you could do that, that'd be cool. I don't know how you would do a skill based on PvP. I don't know how you would balance that, Hacks, but I think you could do it. It really, really, really hard. Yeah, balancing around PvP around EOC was never achieved. There's no way. It would be hard. There's no way. There are people that the way that I used to like to do it is there's a Discord called PvPscape, I think, something like that, and they used to do, before the combat rework, was they did legacy only PvP. I'm gonna do a farm run because y'all got me fucking yapping, and then we'll run into these dungeon floors. But that was the big thing. Like, it just ended up not being the legacy was kind of an equalizer, because you could have full tanks, or you could have motherfuckers that were using the tick system still. They were still doing the same exact shit, and it was fun. It was really cool, and it was simpler to understand because the attacks were telegraphed, the armor was telegraphed, everything you knew what you were supposed to be doing. You can kind of fight against, and then you could learn to use the other skills and so on and so forth. It'd be a lot of things, dude. It'd be a lot of things. There's a really good value in that. Theo, thank you. I can never get into PvP because it's so punishing, and it seems like everyone else out there is like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's the problem, right? There needs to be, for PvP games to succeed, you need to have a balance. There needs to be a balance of, like, fucking terrible people and really good people, and then people in the middle. Because then when you get a good matchup, it's fun. When you get a really good matchup and you guys are playing chess, trying to figure out how to fiddle each other around, it's really more fun than just completely getting murdered within like 10 seconds with no reaction, or you're just constantly operating at a high level, you know, or you're that guy that's just constantly killing everybody, because then it gets boring for the guy killing everybody, because he got good at the game because he wanted to fight people that are as good as him. So that guy that is at the top, he's trying to match someone that is the same level, because that is the excitement. Your heart rate goes up, you're fucking thinking a lot more, because that's what it is. It is a violent game of chess, is essentially what every PvP game ends up being, right? So, and there's nothing really incentivizing it. There's nothing incentivizing it. One of my favorite world events was when Gillinor went into a gigantic, what's it called? A huge war. And you were just fighting for areas, you're killing NPCs while killing players, you would organize with shit like that, you would get into Discords, you talk, you like start organizing, calling out names and shit. That was fun. That was one of my most fond memories playing this game. But they never introduced it again because people were just like maybe not interested in it. I think maybe the crowd for this game is not into that. They've never been into it, but I personally have liked it. I don't mind PvP in this game because I know how to use it a little bit, but the moment I run into somebody better than me, dude, it's GG's, dog. I don't even want to touch you, dog. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video and for making it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to hit a huge milestone on the channel, and your help would be deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. Catch the live streams, links in the description, as well as some sponsorships if you'd like to support the channel more. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one.